Ambitious and beautiful, Jessica Biel aimed big and achieved success and fame and bagged herself one of Hollywood's most eligible bachelors with her down-to-earth and hard-working approach to love and life. At 14, Jessica Biel got her start on the squeaky clean, religious-themed family TV show Seventh Heaven and rose to fame playing the rebellious Mary Camden. It seemed like life imitated art when the super-ambitious Jess, wanting to make the leap to films, rebelliously tried to get herself sacked from the show after 4 seasons by pulling various stunts, believing it was her pristine good girl image that stopped her from getting a role in the Oscar-winning film American Beauty. Making such statements as Mary Camden is dead and then stripping off in a risque photo shoot for Men's Mag gear, Jess outraged execs, and with Seventh Heaven being such a hit with conservative viewers, her ploy worked. Ultimately, Jess negotiated a reduced recurring role on the series, which allowed her to attend college and focus on feature films instead. However, the controversy and exposure did not immediately improve her film career. In an attempt to shed her TV image, she took a role as a bikini babe in Summer Catch, the lame Freddie Prinze Jr. baseball movie that barely made a blip at the box office. Then appeared as a promiscuous college student in the sex-soaked Bret Easton Ellis adaptation, The Rules of Attraction. Then came the ill-advised remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where Jess played the lead scream queen.
There's a lot more to it than just running around killing people. There really is. And we're putting a lot more into it, and I think you might need to see it a couple times to catch it all.
Despite Jess's positivity, the end result was labelled an unnecessary remake, full of needless gore that ultimately left viewers unmoved. However, there was a silver lining. While running and screaming from Leatherface, wearing a tight white singlet and hipster jeans, Jess had showed off her buffed bod in the film and was soon cast in Blade Trinity, the 3rd instalment of the popular B-movie vampire franchise. The role was the perfect showcase for Jessica, and she threw herself into the rigorous training routine required for her most physical role to date. Ryan Reynolds, then still an up-and-comer and at a similar stage in his career, raved about his co-star.
She's amazing. Jessica's incredible. I feel like this, we have this like brother-sister bond because we started this whole thing together. At the same time, we started this crazy workout ritual and fight training and just learning how to properly navigate your way through an action movie together. So it's been great. It's been great having her here. It's been great to have a peer here as well that you can look over at and they understand what you're going through and I understand what they're going through as well. And she's just amazing. She's just an athlete, which is, I think, the best thing you could ever have in an action movie.
As did the producer of the film.
It's not exciting about Jessica Biel. She's fantastic. Jessica Biel is a perfect human being. She's completely gorgeous. She is funny as hell. She's a gifted athlete, totally dedicated. She started training as soon as she got the role, and she kicks ass. I mean, you know, we didn't have a huge amount of time to prepare with her, so I called up one of the fight coordinators, Chuck Jeffries, and I said, how we doing? How's Jess? She's gonna go right? She goes, oh man, she's got knowledge. She's gifted. And I mean, she is fabulous in the fight sequences.
Jess's profile was slowly growing. She took a supporting role in Cameron Crowe's Elizabethtown, and though the film fell short of the usual Crowe bank at the box office and was savaged by critics, Jess was singled out for praise for her performance. In a departure from her usual girlfriend/action fare, Jess was next cast as the female lead in the psychological period piece The Illusionist, opposite dramatic heavy hitters Edward Norton, Paul Giamatti, and Rufus Sewell. Norton recognised the risk that many thought director Neil Berger had taken when casting Jess in this period piece.
Jessica, I think, was stepping into a tone or a wavelength with the material that was very different from anything she had done too. And I think some people were saying, is she up to this with these people and everything? And she was fantastic. I mean, she just slipped right into it. I think she's got a very natural. She's very graceful. She's got a very natural poise, she just, the way that people, the composition that people held themselves with you know, the formality of the language and things. She just slipped right into it.
This is exactly the type of film that I wanted to do next, simply because it was so different than anything that I've ever done or had the opportunity to, you know, be a part of. So I definitely actively sought it out.
Jessica Biel is fantastic. I think she's a real natural knockout. A very, very nice person and a really good actress. I think she's going to be great in it.
I wanted somebody for the role of Sophie who was a relative newcomer, who was younger and who, you know, wasn't known all over the place. I mean, in certain ways, Jessica's a real star, but other places she's kind of unknown. And I wanted the character to have that quality, or the actress that played the character to have that quality. And what makes Jessica perfect for the part, other than the fact that she's this incredibly classical beauty, is that she has this fearless spirit, kind of a spirit of adventure, and the character of Sophie has that spirit also. She's willing to, you know, do things that a woman of her time would never do.
Jess knew that this film could help her achieve her goal of being regarded as a serious dramatic actress. She covered her buff bod from neck to knee with corsetry and lace. There was no action required, and she put all her faith in her director and co-stars to create a very different performance than what we were used to seeing from her.
He knows what the period is about. He knows the restraint and the dealing with emotions and all this stuff that's, you know, something I've never done before and that I, you know, have had to struggle with. Getting it right, being able to control the emotion, which is really, I think, most important, because now, we can be emotional and it's fine, but it's hard to kind of pull that back sometimes. So he's been fantastic. He's been completely open to collaborating with me. We rehearse all the time, and Edward and I are changing lines and changing sequences of dialogue, and he's completely open to that, and it's been great. He's been wonderful.
Jess's performance in the film was well received, and it was after this that two events in particular were to define her life for the next little while. The first was that she was spotted getting cozy with megastar Justin Timberlake, and the second was she was named Esquire magazine's Sexiest Woman Alive, taking the crown from the year's previous winner, Ms. Angelina Jolie.
I don't think you were Sexiest Woman Alive when we were making the film. I think that came later.
I was, you just didn't know it. I didn't tell you.
See, that shows how hip I am. It's an empire.
Nothing's changed. Nothing's different. I still live my life the way I've always lived my life. It's extremely flattering, and it's a lovely honor, and it's been really, really fun. And I'm trying to work it until someone else gets to be the sexiest woman alive for the next year.
Jess kept working and changed pace with the comedy I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. But the choice to work with an all-male cast during this period once again saw her looks rather than her talents as the talking point.
Yes, there is a very good part for the woman in this movie. She's very, people seem to think she's attractive.
Yeah.
They think she's very sweet, very nice.
Yeah.
I forget her name. What is it?
It's Jessica Biel.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, she's the one.
Very good.
She's a 10, and when I'm on screen next to her, she bumps up to a 12.
Well, we all were like fans of hers, and then she came in and we met with her, and she has better arms than we do. She's got better biceps and tries and better forearms than all of us put together. So she arm wrestled us into doing the job. But she's great.
While many of her projects had been under the radar successes, Jessica's name started popping up in gossip columns, and the mainstream media began to cover her more thoroughly, due in large part to her Timberlake relationship. Whilst doing press for Easy Virtue, a period rom-com with a twist in which Jess was the lead, she was asked about the attention she received from the omnipresent paparazzi thanks to her high-profile relationship.
It is very daunting. How do you deal with it? You just try to ignore it, and you try to go about your life and try to be very calm about it and not let it change what you want to do and where you want to go. And it's hard though. It's very frustrating.
But Jess's increased profile did have its upside. She began being cast in bigger budget, stellar ensemble cast films like Valentine's Day, with the likes of Julia Roberts, Bradley Cooper, Kathy Bates, Jamie Foxx and Shirley MacLaine. There's 4 Oscars right there. And the remake of The A-Team with hottie Mr. Cooper again. While Jessica Biel's on-again, off-again relationship with Justin Timberlake is reportedly back on again for now and putting her in the spotlight, it would be unfair to say that a high-profile relationship equals a high-profile career. Instead, she has climbed the Hollywood ladder the old-fashioned way, through hard work and determination, focusing on her strengths, but still willing to try new and challenging things. Stay tuned to Star Picks for all of the movies you know and the actors you love. Broadcasting glorious high definition with 5.1 surround sound where available. For more of the best in entertainment news, check out your movie network channels. It's altogether better, on screen and at mnc.tv.